really feel like PL counters Invoker mid that hard. It's definitely a favorable matchup, but you don't just win 1 versus 1, especially the Forge Spirit build. I don't think.
Like the 1-on-1 is like even, but like the PL can kind of like run at your face, and you probably have no chance of killing the PL. And the other problem is like later on in the game, you don't do anything to PL. He always gets a W off.
But, I mean, as you can see, like EG just banned out Bounty, MVP counters with the Earth Spirit, so I haven't really seen Dubu roaming that hard on any other types of heroes.
So their first pick Radiant again. This is 3 games in a row, right?
I think so, yeah.
Are they banning Pharaoh now? Are they gonna play it again? Maybe.
What does that mean? So that I assume so EG's picking choosing first pick, and MVP's choosing Dire every game. I would expect. So, do you agree with that choice? Out of curiosity, do you know who won the toss actually? Because I'm not sure. Who won the toss?
I have no idea.
No idea. Okay.
Production, hook us up.
Yeah, seriously, help us out. I don't know. We'll see. I'd like to see EG ban Furion. Would you agree with me?
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, like they can play Pharaoh later on or something, but like right now, I don't think they should go for another Pharaoh game.
No. Cappy,
No. You two talk it all out. I don't want to.
Jesus.
The problem here is like if they ban Pharaoh and Invokers in the pool, will they pick Invoker?
I'm okay with that. I agree though. Like, you have to, when you lose 2 games in a similar fashion, I think you just need to change the battlefield a little bit, at least somewhat.
I think they should Invoker. If they're confident, because I don't think PL is a problem with banning Hunter and Pharaoh.
Especially because they can just ban it. If you're in a land final and you're afraid of a first 2 PL, like you just can't be. I don't care if you have the Invoker.
I mean, PL Pharaoh is the problem. Like we played against PL Pharaoh.
Oh yeah.
Like PL alone is like it should not counter Invoker that hard. No. Like if they win this game, they might understand that. They might stop fearing this Invoker. They might just start picking it a lot.
So what's the combo hero with the Phantom Lancer? If this is going to be the 1-2, what's the second hero?
I don't think they're taking PL. I think they're going to keep it standard. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised to see another IO. Personally, I think that's.
Oh my God!
Wow! Damn, you're right. That's crazy. I like the style. I mean, that's MVP pretty much saying like, you knew we were gonna do this, and now we're doing it. But I just don't know if that's.
They pick Bristleback in the profit. They don't care. They don't care. They do them.
I don't know.
This like we play against this PL. It's like that to play against, but we'll see. Like. I'm assuming EG's gonna ban. I mean, they're gonna pick something first, but they're gonna ban Disruptor probably.
Evil geniuses.
Really?
Yeah, I mean
I think they banned the Darkseer, man.
Run that.
I don't know, dude. His Darkseer's been crushing lately, and it seems to me like it's one of those offlaners that just fits MVP style perfectly.
Yeah,
especially with the Furion ban. Like, they don't want Tidehunter or Beastmaster or any of these long cooldown, more lane style. Like, they don't want anything that farms. They want something that's always available to smoke and immediately attack the enemies.
Will you ban Enchantress there?
Possibly.
They can't pick Crystal Maiden, they can't pick Bottom or anything. They count as Enchantress. I think Febby and whoever plays it.
I would agree. I think Ench and I can't remember.
He's a Darkseer.
Darkseer, yeah. I think Ench Darkseer. I would agree.
Phoenix could be I can see that.
But I'm not afraid of an MVP Phoenix.
I think MVP is gonna ban the Phoenix though.
What? Don't illusions count as hits against the egg? I might be wrong. They do against Tombstone and Visage Birds, but not egg.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, you're probably right. Bat Rider ban. So they're thinking in the same line of thinking. They're just more afraid of different heroes. But I feel like anytime you see Avenge on the other team, you immediately think Bat Rider.
The thing is, like, I have no idea what they should ban unless I know what they're gonna play for a set.
Yeah, that's true.
Right now, it's
I think the Invoker Lion opener is pretty solid, just all throughout, and it leaves the most versatile players, in my opinion, in Fear and Arteezy with probably the 4th and 5th picks.
I mean, we grow some heroes right now. The main priority right now is for Invoker not to get smashed. So either he goes safe lane, or they do something about this mid, so he does not get smashed.
How do you deal with the mid Phantom Lancer? Because it's not necessarily, that's one of the strengths, right? It's hard to gank.
It's not the 1-on-1.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's like, you have to make it so MVP is fearful of like their supports rotating mid. If they rotate mid, they will die or something. Like, the Earth Spirit rolls in or something. Like,
the problem with PL is that he can force with no risk. Like, he can apply pressure without any risk. Right. So he can just lance and charge at the Invoker, maybe force a teleport, get information, like the support then has to run up and help, and he just doppelgangers out. Whereas if there's a support behind him, the Invoker might die. So it pretty much forces EG to maintain a numbers advantage in the mid lane, otherwise they'll be out pressured. And that's what makes it so dangerous, especially when you have the MVP style, which is just 5 heroes that can all apply pressure, that can all make kills happen all around the map throughout the entire game. And they banned Tusk. I agree. It was one of the heroes we scouted MVP, and we actually picked it against them mostly to deny it from them. We discussed specifically as second pick, taking it third to deny them. I just don't know if you can afford to be afraid. It's just so annoying though. PL Tusk against
I'm more worried about
Invoker.
this. I mean, this Batrider ban. I don't know what's over that ban. I don't think they would have picked it.
Especially with Tide still in the pool, I think it's incredible against Avenge and PL and OD. Jeez. Man, you think the Morana, 4th pick? You think the Morana 4th?
For MVP?
Yeah.
Did he run that?
I mean, who doesn't?
I don't know. They could, but I don't think so.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't think it's super solid just against the line Invoker, but...
Like, I think it depends on what they pick for offlane as well. Like, do they need a Morana to dominate the top lane? Because the Morana PL mid is like kind of whatever, honestly.
Oof. I think that's more of a denial pick, to be honest, because I mean, Darkseer is one of those offlaners that matches up super well against Darkseer, probably better than any other offlaner, but safe lane against, safe lane OD, like, you can't do anything. Like, I play that lane, you don't do damn thing.
I think this Sven ban is a mistake by MVP. I don't think Sven counters PL like that. Like, he counters him kind of, but not really. He doesn't do anything early game. He's just gonna farm. He's just gonna keep farming and farming. I think they should have just like pick Darkseer or something and
5 seconds.
I don't know, just give him away to Sven. Like, you have OD and stuff. Like, I think they should have either banned Darkseer or picked it themselves or something.
What are the more dangerous counters to Phantom Lancer?
I mean, Sven is the hardest counter. It's more about the style of the game. Like,
Okay.
he doesn't do anything early.
Dude, there's no way Sven's the hardest counter.
Huh?
I put Ember and both Zeus as like a tier
No, Zeus
above.
is the highest probably. Yeah.
I
But
don't
whatever.
know. It's crazy they just first picked PL, well, you know, second picked, but still, it's just, that's so MVP. It's amazing that they're 2-0 at this event right now in the grand finals. I don't feel nearly as bad about losing to them, because they've really showed up to play. This is like great Dota, am I right?
Yeah. This Darkseer, like, this is really good for EG, I think, this Darkseer. Because I think he's gonna be able to apply pressure top. Like, he's gonna make it so the Invoker like feels safe.
I don't know if I
The
agree
Darkseer's
with
gonna
you.
outshow top and he's gonna run around and like he's gonna.
Dude, he can't do anything against Venge OD. They're just gonna go click him, and I'll bet $20 he's in the jungle by 50 seconds.
That's gonna be. Like, he can go jungle, like, sure, but it's not like the first minute is not the problem, right? It's more about like 2-3 minutes in. Like, when he gets level 3 on Darkseer, he's not gonna stay in the jungle. He's gonna run top, he's gonna double shell that shit, and then he's gonna push it in. He's gonna run around. He's gonna be annoying. And
I don't disagree. I just feel like he's not really gonna be able to do more than maybe force the Venge. Ooh, Ursa again. They really like Ursa against OD. It's really, really bad against Phantom Lancer though.
Romancer?
Yeah, Ursa does nothing to PL. Like you
PL?
You do nothing.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really care about any of that. I don't really care about the heroes that counter PL. Like, it's more about the early game. Because in the way EG's draft right now, it's really good for them. I like their draft, like, over MVP's draft, because Ursa destroys the safe lane. The only hero it does not destroy is Batrider and Darkseer, so apparently both of them were gotten rid of. So he's gonna destroy the offlane alone. And they're gonna be able to focus on mid. Like, so I like this. I don't think MVP has enough pressure mid.
Jackie, are you saying it's more important to, when it comes to this kind of mid-PL style, it's less important to try and counter the Phantom Lancer hero directly and more try and speed up the tempo of the game to make sure that Phantom Lancer doesn't become a threat in the
I think so.
first place?
I don't think Phantom Lancer is, in a sense, he's not a good hero. Like, he's not a good hero in this. Like, he's a good hero because he destroys early game and he like snowballs and stuff. But he's not really a good hero if nothing happens in the game. Like, you don't feel pressured by a PL. Like, if nothing happens in the game, there's an anti-mage. You're like, oh right, this anti-mage hero is gonna destroy us, or whatever. But this PL is like whatever.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's one of those heroes. I actually think that's at a really good point balance-wise. PL's not overly strong. It's just a very situationally good hero, and MVP specifically loves giving it this matchup. So the Shaker's pretty much 95% going to be a support, and like Shaker PL is really scary. Every time the Lance charge goes out on the Invoker, if there's a Fissure there and it lands a block, like the Invoker's just dead, and that's really, really scary for Sumail in the mid lane. And I don't disagree with you as far as playing against MVP. I think EG first has to be able to deal with their tempo. I just don't like picking a 1 into something that you already know is not going to be a good matchup for you at all.
Yeah, but you already have Lion and Darkseer. I think they're fine. Like when it comes to PL. Like
I don't know.
They have Lion, like they have Hex and like Impels and shit, and they can finger them.
I feel like it's the same in our game 2 against them, where we were MVP had a Spectre and they were still playing with the same tempo, and it gets to a point where you're fighting them and the game's going okay, you're even, but they've suddenly got a Spectre with Radiance and
God,
lost.
they banned Wisp, dude. What the hell is that? Like, I'm surprised about that. Like sorry, I kind of interrupted you. I'm surprised they did this. Because I think Beast is also one of the better heroes against Ursa. Like, I played it against the Liquid, Ursa against Beastmaster, he just hits you with boars and you can't really do anything.
No, yeah.
Because Ursa needed to be able to destroy him to safe lane so that they can protect mid.
I don't know, man. What are your thoughts on the draft? Because pre-game, my prediction was either EG was going to win 3-1 or MVP was just going to roll it 3-0. And after looking at the draft, I think MVP's just got this, in truth. I don't disagree with your synopsis on how you would deal with MVP, but I don't... EG can't play their safe style. They need to try and play MVP. They're literally playing MVP's game. They're trying to control the tempo, but they won't win the game past 30 minutes, especially on Radiant.
They're picking Trim to make sure they survive the lanes and stuff and make sure they can defend the towers and stuff. But so we'll see. If they don't lose their tier 1 towers by like 15 minutes, then I think they're gonna win.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So
I don't think they're gonna save the towers.
Yeah, I think they're gonna lose their attack.
All right, guys, let's get into it. Game number 3, MVP Phoenix versus Evil Geniuses. Toby1 and Blitz, go ahead.
Thanks a lot, Cap. Yes, it is time to get underway. Will it be the whitewash, or will we be forced into a 4th game as MVP will roll out their dire side once again? Blitz, we heard a lot of opinions coming out from both EE as well as Swindle. What do you think is the critical point here? Do you think EG have what it takes to win in the laning phase?
I mean, they have a lot of their signature heroes, the Universe Darkseer. They've got the PPD tree. So far, throughout this entire tournament, it seems like Invoker's been Sumail's most consistent hero. Ursa is a hero that I know RTZ likes to play. This is pretty much do or die situation, obviously, but MVP, I mean, it just feels like they've got this like extra gear that they've just kind of hit. And it doesn't even feel like they need to necessarily win the lanes really hard because they figure out a way to win. That's the most important thing. Like, they figure out a way to gank you, they can lose the early game team fights like they did, they can lose the laning phase, and it doesn't even seem to matter. This team just seemed to have evolved.
Is EG going to fight into this? PPD went for lead seed very early on with the Iron Shalom. He hits very hard into Dubu. The Magic Missile will buy a little bit of space, as well as the Lion's done. The Fissure from Febby tries to lock him out, and, well, so far, both bounty runes have been split. But they keep that fight chasing on. MP, he's still got that Astral Imprisonment if he wants to try and take out the Darkseer. There's another stun. MP, defensive imprisonment. Maybe it's time for that one. It will be QO. Still fighting. They're going hammer and tongs. EG trying to play MVP's aggression game, and another stun from Febby. MP, they'll need the body block from Febby to buy the space. He'll end up surviving through all of this. And actually, first blood is spilled, and it was Fear killing off the Vengeful Spirit further up inside the jungle.
I didn't even know how that was going to end. Definitely not a 1-for-0. At one point, it looked like 3 heroes were going to go down at either side. EG finally with a really good start, getting the first blood onto the Lion. And if you're going to get one, here's one of the better players to have it, because he's going to have to roam his ass off this game.
And it's not just him too. He's moving up already, trying to chase down MP. As MP has to cut back through the tree line to get himself back into that top lane to combine up with Dubu. So you have Sphere as well as PPD. The question was asked if EG can play to the aggressive, trying to tempo controlling style of MVP. Kind of looks like it. They ran directly at them. They're actually using the raw damage of that tree and protect it. It hits so hard. And the leech seed to give them the sustain.
Yeah, Febby though is setting up at mid. Kyo doesn't have as much HP that he might as like, but
nice Fissure
he's
block.
gonna get blocked off, and
there's still Lance available from QO, but he's
No, I think he just has to back. The timing of this is a little bit wrong. And Fear, he's got boots. I doubt Kyo even wants to expend the Lance for this right now.
At least he's back up on health after salving up. Gonna keep our eyes on this bottom lane too. Like, we were wondering what was going to happen with this if Arteezy was meant to, well, in the words of the panel, like, he was meant to crush this lane, or had to crush this lane. But he's playing 1-on-1 up against a Beastmaster. He's 8-2 against 3-0. Currently, Forev is not getting the upper hand up against Arteezy. Obviously, he's an Ursa.
Yeah, so far, all 3 lanes are being won by EG, and after that early engagement, there's no surprise there. Forev is going to do the best that he can in a game like this, but MVP, this is maybe the worst laning phase that we've seen them have throughout this grand final so far.
Yeah, feels really hard for them just to get the balance, but maybe this will help him out as Arteezy. Febby comes in, he's got a double damage rune, so the extra damage is there, and Arteezy and Huala hurt. The damage is enough from Forever. Another double stun arriving from Fear. But Arteezy has already gone down as the Beastmaster to claim the kill. That's now a level 4 Beastmaster under 3 minutes into the game. QO, okay, that's low, and that's actually dead. Didn't consume his Fairy Fire, and this will actually give Sumail a free kill in mid lane after a very aggressive dive onto that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be able to pick that one up, but Sumail, really well played by him so far, and gonna run into a bit of lag. But so far, if you look at the top 4 CS into the game, 3 of them are all dominated by EG members. Looks like the game is
We're okay.
normal again, but definitely not how MVP wanted to start this, especially with Sumail getting the solo kill onto the Phantom Lancer. That's going to affect things quite a lot, actually, because he doesn't even really come close to getting his bottle soon.
So maybe we should start asking the question. So, well, okay. Also, goodbye bottom lane. I thought those 2 balls should have created more than enough space for him, but obviously not the case.
Yeah, he has a ward there too, and Fear didn't use the smoke unless he had 2 gathered up. That was probably just a little bit too over-aggressive by the Beastmaster. A little bit too comfortable in this lane so far.
Okay, so I want to know how EG keep this pressure up. Like, you have someone like the Tree and Protectors, you'll have living armor. Can you keep being really aggressive? Like, we're seeing MVP, Great Fissure, follow-up stun, Wave of Terror, living armor's gonna make this difficult for them to kill off the Invoker with the Ice Ball. There's one more Lance. That'll find the kill. They take so much damage for this, however, just to ensure that kill. But so how does EG stay on top of the lanes? If we can say they are actually on top of the lanes right now.
At some point around 5 or 6 minutes, they're probably just going to start heading for objectives, going for things like the Roshan, establish your tempo into this game. They're doing a pretty good job of it so far. They've already gotten off to a 1,500 net worth lead. XP following in a similar direction, but it's just 4 minutes in the game, 1,500 gold. That's good enough right now.
They see him. Kuro's trying to play possum right now. Fabi's got his Fissure of Verbal and Fear. There's your Lance, Doppelganger forward. Fissure perfectly locks Fear into the corner. He will be getting the stun off, but he's losing his life. A great sentry ward in the last 10 seconds of its life will help to kill off the old man.
Everything's starting to tip again into MVP's favor. That's a pretty big kill for them too, because that's a level 3 Lion. He was doing pretty well for himself, and they're going to give both those kills to QO. Unfortunately for them, they do lose their courier in the process, and that's going to be no more regen for this Phantom Lancer.
And the bottle got sniped. Just means he's got to deal with the lane the best way he possibly can.
They gotta stop letting that happen. I think that's the second time in this grand finals where they just failed to upgrade the courier and death happened. And MVP, and they're all going to smoke up for this one. Do they have the roar? Yes, they do. It looks like they want to head towards this bottom lane.
Well, if they're going to keep trying to shut down Arteezy, that would make sense. Yep. Or do you completely cripple the Invoker?
Oh, they're gonna run into PPD before anything.
Yeah, he throws in a fresh Observer Ward, but there's the roar from Forev. A lot of ball slow. PPD does have the invis, but he's perma-stunned. No way to get to freedom. And this keeps EG's attention towards that mid lane. And again, MP now will be bought a lot of space on this OD.
Still not the hero that they wanted to kill. They could have helped it. They really wanted to grab the Invoker if possible. It was now going to show himself mid. Does have the boots. Immediately TP's back. And when it comes down to it, the Ursa's still getting a lot of farm out of this lane because of the fact that both of his supports have been able to rotate out. And MVP's been moving around a lot away from this lane. The Ursa's just getting a lot of free XP.
I'm wondering how effective this experience as well as gold is going to be for Arteezy. He's going up against a lineup who have a lot of single target controls. You've got swaps, you've got stuns, you've got imprisonments, you've got roars, you've got fissure blocks, you've got doppelgangers to escape as well. How much of this money is really going to result in a death of MVP? And what items does he need to do to actually ensure that?
Probably just get BKB at some point. Probably the biggest thing, and try to just roll on through. He's not meant to go ultra late in this game, but even an Aghanim Scepter, it's probably worth it.
Support, Dubu, the stun, RTZ can't get close enough, but Fear is here for the follow-up. So they're ensuring the kill over on Forev. And even though RTZ did most of the hard work, a kill is a kill.
He's got control of this bottom area. I think they want to take this bottom tier 1 when they can so that they can start establishing some control around the Roshan pit to allow RTZ to be able to grab that whenever he wants to.
One of the heroes we haven't really talked about really at all in this game so far is Universe. He's level 7 on this top lane and working well on towards that mech.
Yeah, he's got the second highest net worth in the game right now. 43 CS already for him. Things are really piling up for MVP right now as EG top 3 net worths in the game. Both the supports on the side are getting a lot more too. And this is without tower gold to begin with. As they're going to smoke up, go for this top area. They've got the Surge available. They might just want to bombard MP with the Surged in line if they can.
PPD can also tank up a hell of a lot if he can get that. If he can get that leech seed off. Like their ability to survive under that tower is gonna be even better. Kuro still doesn't have. Okay, the bottle's coming out in the courier. And what's the 8-minute rune? It's gonna be a bounty for him.
Oh, this is so smart. Fear's invised up by PPD. He's waiting for MP to step forward, but MP looks like he kind of game sensed this one out. And he's just going to run away behind the tower, wait for the supports to show themselves. You notice that Arteezy at the bottom lane is doing the exact same thing because at some point the safe lane is no longer the safe lane. It is the worst lane to be in. Everybody starts to rotate in for that one. And just good reactionary Dota by both teams.
Yeah. Even Samel just started doing Ancients with Forge Spirits. Get as much money in as you can without putting yourself at risk and giving the enemy an advantage. Because it's 4-4 on the board. EG do still have an advantage of about 3,000 net worth this early on. We've kind of seen that advantage swing pretty hard, depending on how the fights go down.
I think the main reason too that he went for the Ancients right there is because he wants to secure the Midas without dying for it. Similar in the same vein as when you go for the Radiance, you just want to make sure that you can get the Relic without dying. He's going to grab level 8, and QO, in a lane that was supposed to dominate, fed that solo kill to the Invoker earlier and has not really been able to put out too much, but been able to keep up and kill so far. They need some sort of outlet. This Midas Invoker is going to start to gain a lot of XP, and that's a level 5 line who's almost primarily been roaming.
Well, the other option you can do is try and kill off that bottom lane, but PPD's already going to beat him to the punch. Just keeping his eyes over on Forev. There's no ultimate available for PPD, but he's obviously got the slow which comes with Leech Seed. And Kuro is starting to add some pressure towards that tier 1 tower. PPD's still refusing to fight for now. But Arteezy got the movement speed, triggers the phase boots, PPD, and he will not. He will just be a voyeur.
Rev has the Ring of Basilius and the Ring of Regen, and this would be, if this is eventually going to be a Vlad's, but if he decides to get it this early, it'd be a little bit off. I guess he could just get it for this flat-out armor in the beginning and still transition to the Necro 3, but that wouldn't really explain everything he's gotten so far. Maybe they just want to run at them in the mid-game.
Could work. Is Roshan also going to be one of those critical things that you want to have something like Vlad so you can do it a little bit earlier? Just to deny it to Arteezy.
Potentially, but I feel like with their lineup they could do it without it anyways.
Mask of Madness is now done over on Arteezy, so welcome to even more movement speed on that Ursa.
Got the double Forge Spirits now completed on Sumail though. He's gonna farm quite quickly. And MVP, every single game they do this, Toby, they're gonna invade into the jungle. They want to get control.
PPD should die here.
Area.
Like, Forev's got Roar available if he wants to use it. He doesn't really need to, however. They use the Roar instead to keep the Ursa around the plane and let QO and that Fidget combo. Arteezy's locked in the tree lane, tries to battle against QO and then start this TP out, the Enrage. They'll actually buy the time. The TP's cancelled, but they're doing so much damage in return. PPD's still on the run. They haven't found the kill. The Axel will fly, but he's still surviving to fight another day. That is a 1-for-1 hero trade-off. Ursa for the Earthshaker. So PPD gets all the way home.
Well worth it for MVP still. Being able to pick up the Ursa, get some control of this bottom tower, but if you're going to damage this, you better be ready to take it as the tree's just going to continuously heal it, which is exactly what he starts on as soon as he gets home.
They're at least keeping the attention of EG now on that bottom lane, but top lane's been completely abandoned by both EG and MVP.
Yeah, this is kind of surreal that both teams just completely abandon a free farm lane. MVP, though, one of the few teams that are willing to do this because they want to establish tempo here.
And they come again.
Here we go. Universe almost has the mech, though.
They got both Hawk as well as Observer Ward down, so that Hawk... How far exactly down to the... Yeah, they see everything. And they move forward. MP starts off. Nice fissure. Lion's going to go down pretty quickly. Wave of Terror gives a vision to the Universe. They don't have Raw for another 5 seconds, but they really do not require it. Again, Febby right behind. Universe, he can put the Iron Shell down, but the damage is more than enough to get the kill.
They're immediately pinging for Roshan too, and with this Vlad's, I think that's exactly what they're going to go for. Is
they're not even going to take the tier 1 tower on bottom lane before they do this?
I think it would take them too long. They're going to leave Forev to try to cross some attention over, and
there's your Raw. PPD, TP support's coming down. Forev initiated, and the rest of MVP, they've turned around. Forev, does he cancel his TP? Yep, well, no, he doesn't. He just leaves. They still find the kill over on the tree and protect, but it's Fear and Arteezy. MP is completely isolated. Dubu, he's got the swap, but he's not going to save his OD. Maybe you felt the save wasn't going to be possible.
Yeah, the fissure looked really good at first, and it blocked off any sort of escape, but they just TP'd in from the right-hand side, and it ends up being the damnation of this OD.
And now it's EG who can go in and try and take Roshan.
EG want to take this as soon as possible. They know, especially with the Vlad's shown on Forev, that MVP, it's also their prerogative to take it. And Febby and Forever up here.
Here's the Hawk.
Yeah, this is going to spot this, but...
They got another one up in 2 seconds time with the Axe is flying in. EG have to be feeling the pressure. MVP, they're starting to pincer in on top of EG. PPD's waiting for that big overgrowth to buy some space. Arteezy doesn't want to lose these stacks right now. But QO, well, he might actually make Arteezy lost. There goes your enrage. Where's your damage? The finger of death. He actually, wow, really? He did it with the doppelganger. Fear cannot inflict the damage. QO will survive. VS swapping it back in. MP, he's still got that Eclipse ready to pop. And who can he kill off? Probably the Invoker has 35 stolen intel, but the pushback with the Deafening Blast. You've actually bought just enough space, but not enough for Universe to survive. He's roared up, even with the wall around him. The damage is enough from the Beastmaster as Dubu playing around with Samael. It's all about the Invoker. Stunned up, they're moving over. Fear as well. Try and retreat out. MVP's right behind. Fissure on cooldown for 6 more seconds. One more attack will kill him. The BTs, well, they're coming on the back of the Hawk, and there it is. QR arrives to fight. Fear will drop as well. 7-13. Now MVP will take that tier 1 tower on the bottom lane and look towards Roshan, who's already licking his wounds.
What should have been just an absolute clean fight with that dodge instead turns around as MVP. Now they're going to go for the Roshan. EG did not expect to lose that fight, but Artur was so low and he was isolated by himself. And they're going to take this so fast. A lot of the damage has already been dealt for them. The negative armor and the Vlad's here. The OD's going to come in here for the last hit.
They're coming back, EG. But they can't fight this, they're too late. No, Roshan already belongs to MVP. QO's got a second life, even though he seems to be a cat and has 9 of them. If you're able to dodge a finger of death like that, and that's just got to start tilting you if you're EG. MVP smoke up. They do not want to hold off his aggression. There goes your Dust. They're looking for Samael, but the Deafening Blast finds some space, but not as much as that Fissure does. Dubu, he's got the swap. He needs the vision. He also needs the range. That's a level 1 swap. We've got to remember, with all the fighting, with everything that's happened, we're still only 15 minutes into this game.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was going to be able to get the swap there, and consecutive kills on the Samael, who is the highest net worth hero on the side of EG, would have been so huge for them.
Here they come again, Dubu. There's your swap. They're looking for him in a Fissure. The Echo doing some work. PPD will try and find some space. The back pulling him away to the double wall. It's still going to be enough for Red. Hexed up by PPD or by Fear. They need a little bit more space to work, but MP, he's dishing out so much damage up on the high ground. They're chasing PPD. He's already been dusted, and that tree is not going to move quickly, but then again, the dust, it wears off. They don't see him anymore. They have to clean up all these illusions, Forge Spirits and Creep Wave, before MVP can keep the pressure on. What else is happening? Dubu and Arteezy, well, play around the trees. Arteezy will be able to track down that kill. MP, obviously one of the greatest tower attackers in the game, pushing that tier 2 tower by himself.
That was honestly amazing by EG.
PPD. Is there no escape? The Lance will connect. He's back in Viz. They know he's hanging in the trees. The Axes
barely misses.
PPD living life on the edge, on a prayer, on a ledge. And now TPing back home.
That was honestly such a sick fight by EG though. Even with the Fissure, blocking them off. The immediate reversal with the vacuum wall was enough for them to kind of hold that fight, and MVP, they don't lose too much after that, but it could have just been so much worse. REG is the top tier 1 tower is going to go down, and it doesn't look like they want to stop. They have so many things in their favor right now. Heavy, even transporting an item, that's going to be a gem for him early.
Yeah, I think they've had enough of these invis heroes running around instead of nature's guys. And the Blink Dagger is also going to arrive onto Arteezy, so he's going to wait to get himself in the middle of these fights where he wants to be. Unfortunately for him, that Lance flies an illusion forward, so they should be able to see that Blink Dagger is up. And Kuro is hanging around, like he's not waiting. He's got Nagus Immortal, PPD was attempting the denial. A doppelganger away from QO, and then just a Lance to remember him by. Oh, okay, he can just run back in as well. They've got that gem up, so they see PPD. Febby needs to stay closer, though, so they can keep that vision up. Sentry Wall is being dropped as well. 4-star Febby forward, so they get the vision on PPD. They are chasing down the Evil Genius captain, and they will be able to pick him off in just delayed, still delayed. Oh, there we go. He is now down.
And I really like this build that Kyo decided to go for too. Going for the max level of the Doppelganger early on. He's got the mana to support it simply because he has the OD on his team. Oftentimes, people will go for the stats, and the reason for it is you don't have the mana to support going in and out so often. But with the OD nearby, he's going to refresh it once or twice for you. You're going to be able to actively re-engage, which is kind of the name of the game for MVP. I don't even feel like they're a laning phase team or a 5-man team, whatever you want to call it, but the number one thing they do above all other teams is they are willing to just consistently re-engage. OD really helping out with that one as Kyo is going to pick up the bounty rune at top. He's got the full defusal, quite a power spike early game already for this Phantom Lancer.
It's crazy that you're 18 minutes in, and on MVP you've got 3 heroes of almost, like 2 of them almost reached 8k. And the third core is still over 7k.
Yeah.
All of this money is just flooding into them left, right, and center.
EG can still do a lot with this lineup. The Invoker is nothing to laugh at, and Universe, we've seen time and time again the types of initiations that he's been able to get off. He's got a Blink Dagger now to back himself up. Arteezy's got one as well, but hey, right now MVP, they're taking so much map control.
Yeah, they just burn through the buildings. They don't even have to go into a position where EG can get a good fight. In fact, no, they find PPD again, and Febby stays close. There's your vision, and PPD already down. Universe back, 3-man wall, and instantly they want to try and turn the Eggers, and it hits out Dubu. The Sunstrike will actually pick him off, but really, what is the cost? Fear will drop, 2 kills, and there it is as well. The drop from MP. Where is the hope? It is gone for Evil Genius. It's a full team wipe. MVP, double the kills, all the momentum. The tier 2 tower drops as well. MVP look invincible.
I cannot even believe what I'm watching right now. EG is just getting absolutely dismantled. 20 minutes into the game, MVP already going for the high ground. They still have the Aegis available on the Phantom Lancer. He's so strong right now. Nobody from EG willing to fight him quite yet. Meteor's gonna come down, and
QR?
He's already on the hunt.
Wow, he really is hyper-aggressive. He's chasing Samel almost to the fountain with the extra stun coming in from Febby. QR, he doesn't care. He's got a second life, so why not live it? Moves down to PPD. There's still 4 more defusal charges if he wants to have a crack at him. PPD out of mana. He's trying to go for the overgrowth. The captain is down once again. They're going to take a Rex. We're 20 minutes into a grand final best of 5, maybe now with a big triple stun and the Sunstrike. MVP can finally be punished. Maybe not. Arteezy chasing out, but now he's defused up. Again, they're looking to go. Necro units are on the field. Dubu's got his son off cooldown in just a moment. Universe trying to create the space. The Lion will end up killing off the Beastmaster as Arteezy. And there it is. That's a big kill. Dubu will actually join him. Febby, he's got the fissure. He'll get 1 extra stun, but it will not actually help him survive. The Sunstrike's coming in. Dubu's looking for the kill over on Arteezy. He will not be able to find it, or maybe the Necro book. It's working hard, but the Living Armor will work harder. Did they take it? No, they didn't. The mid-melee Rax remains alive, and EG repel MVP.
They get so much gold out of that fight, too. It looked like for a second EG was just going to get battled back into their base as QO went for the dive, but EG managed to hold, don't even lose a Rax, and they get quite a lot of gold onto Arteezy. And that's going to be their savior so far, as Sumail had to buy back just to be able to hold for that fight. He did not get a lot of gold out of that engagement, even though he was around for quite a lot of it, but MVP, maybe they just go for the next Roshan and repeat the process.
It would make a lot of sense, but Roshan's still another minute and a half away. Potentially, well, Finger of Death is the only thing that's really on cooldown for EG, and that's only for 20 more seconds. Thinking MVP could just go again. Like, you've got a level 2 Necrobook off cooldown in 20 seconds as well. The Echo Slam is up for Febby. The Eclipse is off cooldown in 15. So everything is rejuvenating for MVP, ready to fight again.
Yeah, EG's just waiting for the next item for RTZ. Most likely going to be a BKB. There's so many items that he needs right now because they still have a lot of ways to deal with them through the BKB. They've got the roar. They need it. And that top tower is going to go down without a hitch.
They decided not to actually use the Fortify. It was off cooldown for him.
Yeah, they probably just weren't even paying attention.
Yeah. Could have bought him a little bit more time, keeping RTZ out. But they take the tier 2 task. That's the last remaining out of town. 22 minutes in, it'll fall down. And there it is. It will be the BKB for RTZ.
Yeah, he needs to do so much in the sex fight. Him and Sumail. The rest of the heroes just don't have the farm necessary to really keep up. The Darkseer vacuum wall has been pretty clutch for them as well, but they're just getting out team fought right now. And it looks like that's going to be a Manta style for this Outworld Devourer. Wants to go for some sort of DPS and at the same time needs a way to get out of that Treant's ultimate, which hasn't even been an issue for them because they've been mana burning him so quickly.
Yeah, Kuro just keeps running at PPD and there's nothing PPD can do about it because when he wants to go for it, the only thing that's around him is illusions of PL.
Yeah, and if he decides to use the tree ultimate, then Doppelganger's away, doesn't really care about it. He'll defuse, will chase you down. Febby, who is he again? The victory Viv booster doesn't decide to go for a blink.
You're an Earthshaker, like Force Staff or Blink Dagger is like core on this hero. Why are you going a Vit booster?
I just think it's like the whole Febby thing.
It's his style.
It's a man and his Vit booster, man. Don't judge.
I'll only judge if he picked up a second one instead of the Blink Dagger.
That Invoker now has the Aghanim Scepter, and this is going to up his utility quite a bit. E.g., they're finally starting to filter in a lot of items here. And for the next fight, it's going to be pretty dangerous for MVP. The XP lead after that dive mid cut to almost 0. Net worth really not that bad either. Even though they were almost pressuring into that high ground area, it's only 2,500 gold.
It's got so much came back. Now MVP will be able to scout out the Roshan is alive. They want to be quick about this, and see the second they knew it, QO TP's down. He's actually going for a heart build over on this Phantom Lancer. Either that or he's got this in mind for a Satanic.
No, that's definitely going to be hard.
Yep. EG, 5-man smoke up. They know that Roshan's up. They scouted with the Sunstrike. They actually scouted that before MVP knew.
They have.
Well, RTZ's the first one in. Here comes Universe, the backfloor tornado combination. How many numbers they got there? Just Doppelganger. QO stuck up on top of the hill. The Echo Slam is almost killed off RTZ. He's isolated, but the BKB makes it so the OD cannot kill him off. And EG have actually bailed out. They've used their combination, but they couldn't find the kill on QO. And QO is on the hunt, searching for the kill on the Lion. It's a nice stun from Fear, but he had to cancel his TP in order to do it.
Even with all that, they weren't able to kill even a single person.
They lost sight of QO. They couldn't find QO. And RTZ again, straight from the rest of EG.
He was looking for a quick pick off on a Febby, trying to get rid of that gem. Just wasn't able to do it as Dubu. Really nice swap on. He was getting really low, but
Forge Spirits are coming in. But it's already done. Aegis Immortal's on the deck. QO is going to take it. Has he? Oh, he hasn't actually finished up the rest. Didn't get that much money out of the fight.
This is such a farmed MP as well. He's level 14. He's got the Dragon Lance, the Manta Style, and the Force Staff. EG, they're going to have to hold without their 10-second BKB. Their Invoker still has a lot of farm and a lot of levels, but just something is missing from their lineup. Maybe they need Fear to initiate at the same time as them. Maybe it was the tornado that lifted them up, allowed MVP to reset.
Yeah, it seemed a little weird at that time, like, because you started off with your VAC, but the VAC happened at the same time as the tornado picked up. So two of your big control mechanisms didn't really synergize well together.
Yeah. It looked like that fight was just a tad off of being excellent for EG. Imagine they win that fight, and they can just go for the Roshan immediately because they've got an Ursa on their team. They can turn things around. MVP would suddenly be on the back foot, but because of that team fight win, gold starts to dip down again, and with this Aegis MVP, they want to take everything.
RTZ's doing this. I remember this moment happening previously, and MVP are doing exactly the same thing they did. They're chasing after the kill. RTZ's hanging around. Febby going to come in range where he can get the fissure. They're going for the Hawk, and with that TP in from the PL, they need the stun. Barely missing the TPing out Ursa. And Perev, okay, well, he's going to roar onto Universe, cut the tree line, then realize Fear is here. The Necro Books try and do some work. The Greaves is out. Perev with the Deafening Blast and Finger of Death and the Sunstrike still shrugs it off, losing only 2/3 of his life.
Yeah, it looks like MVP want to still get aggressive. Hugo is quite low, and this is going to be the hard for him. Should heal him up quite nicely. 110 HP regen a second. Gonna go for this top push. Their bottom tower is already pushing in. The mid one isn't in a position where it can get threatened. EG don't have the best split pushers, aside from maybe the Invoker, but they need the Invoker to defend this high ground.
Yeah, and they're gonna need all the buybacks they've got too. At least that's the upside for EG. All 3 cores currently holding on to buybacks. But Kuro just man-mows this. Heart and Aegis. Do you even want to initiate on Kuro?
Probably not the best hero for this. And Arteezy trying to kill the Hawk, but instead gonna get mana burned, and he's gonna have to heal before they engage.
He doesn't have mana for any real combos. And the OD Imprisonment actually makes it so they can't even initiate on Kuro. He goes back onto the racks. They slowly siege this out. As Kuro is ready to try and spam lances, remember he wants to be initiated on. Doppelgangers makes more of himself. Arteezy pushing a long way out. But the 4-staffs are up. Back wall from Universe catches out 2 heroes. The Raw on top of Sumail. Can they actually kill him off? Kuro needs to make more of himself as Arteezy makes a beeline for Forever. The swap up. Dubu will protect him. The mech as well. Arteezy needs more damage. They'll actually fissure block it out from Femi. They just can't keep this chase going. Another BKB wasted. Dubu with a stun. Fear is still there, but the Echo Slam from Femi. It arrives. Durbo is still bloody alive. He won't even leave him. Go down 3 alive for Rem. There's just not enough damage to kill him off either. MVP, they really are the Immortals right now. Sumail has to retreat back out. Fear is stranded. The Axis from Forever will find the kill. It's 3 for 0. The trade-off after this fight. Mid-racks and top racks exposed with the tier 3 towers gone. MVP, they are looking absolutely amazing.
That was the most godlike team play I've seen in such a long time. They cover for each other so well. Nobody goes down. Dubu makes sure of it, swapping Forever up. Then the Fissure comes in, blocking off the BKB Ursa. Eventually, Dubu is going to go down, but it took a Herculean effort from EG. At the very minimum, this is going to mean 2 sets of racks for them.
This is so huge. MVP have done what most people would never have believed. They have cemented themselves as a top tier 1 team in the Dota 2 scene. They are moving so close to taking their first ever big Dota 2 title under this brand, at least with these players. And moving down to the bottom lane, they want Megas. Arteezy is up in 4 seconds time, and we'll see just how much respect they give. Kuro's still got this Aegis the Immortal for now. And can't have much longer left on it. Universe, the second he jumps, Kuro just doppelgangers away. Forever comes in for the roll. They're looking for the Sunstrike combo. Definitely Blast pushes them away from it. Universe so low on life, but again, these imprisonments making it difficult for Arteezy to attack. He's on top of MP. He does find that kill, but the buyback, it comes out from the OD. Kuro is currently soloing up the rest of the team, while Arteezy is playing with the rest. He jumps away from the Totem Son of Febi, back into the safety underneath his own tier 3 tower. But it's the only tier 3 tower of EG that remains. Their top lane and mid lane is still being pressured so heavily just by a basic creep wave. Kuro goes back to the fight. How long has he got? He's only got another maybe 5-10 seconds left on that Aegis the Immortal, so it's time to back up MVP.
Yeah, and even with resetting this fight, that's perfectly okay for them. And he's gonna get gone on.
Watch the timing of that Aegis. Doppelganger, Aegis is gone. Kuro is actually vulnerable right now. If Universe can find this kill, they can relieve so much pressure. They're moving forward with the illusions. The Sunstrike and Cold Snap, they can bind up. The Gem of True Sight is on the deck, and Universe quickly snatches it up.
Everybody going for the buyback on the side of MVP, even the OD. They smell blood. They want to end this game now, and with the wall down, MVP feel like they've got enough of an advantage to go for the high ground. They've got a lot of time to make this work too. They can just send the Necro Books in. They're going to be stopped by this wall for the time being, but EG resetting, just allowing their tower to heal, doing everything they can to defend this. Mega Creeps is not their forte. They just don't have the best wave clear.
MVP right now, like even with these biomax and wanting to end the game, like they could delay this up, they could wait for the next Roshan, they could do all this kind of jazz, but instead you buy it back, you come, and it's almost like they're trying to make a statement against EG while they do this.
Yeah, they're playing for the win right now.
Yeah, PPD so close. He's not going to get, there's no vision on him at the moment because they did lose a gem. Parev jumps in, he gets the Raw over on Sumail with the Necro Book. Sumail's running out of mana so quickly. Arteezy looking for the fight. Nice only from PPD, but Parev, he's done the work on the back lines. The buyback there, but Ferry, perfect Echo Slam. Fear and PPD, they drop down low, and this will allow the OD to drop the hammer down on top of EG. Parev goes to work, Arteezy will die. This could be it. This could actually be the grand final winners. MVP, they just keep going in deeper. They get the stun over onto Sumail, and there it is. GG! MVP will defeat the TI champions, Evil Geniuses, in a whitewashed grand final. 3-0 MVP against EG. Blitz, did you think it was possible?
I didn't know if it was going to be possible, but I definitely didn't think it would end like that, and how fitting, nobody from MVP dying in that final engagement. The amount of team play these guys have and the trust that they have in each other. This was amazing, honestly.
MVP have taken Dota 2 to another level as well, and an entertainment level at that. Their play style is just so beautiful to watch for both spectators as well as professional players. So difficult to draft against, so difficult to play against.